48th anniversary of independence. That's coming up on February 7th. All right. So with me this morning is Mr. John Williams. And John, it is a pleasure. I mean, we haven't seen in a long time, buddy.
I know it has been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you as well.
Your listeners, the Grenada, those in the wider communities in the diaspora and so forth. It's good to be on your program. I'm looking forward to our little discussion this morning, talking about independence and everything else that goes with it. So it's great to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Yep.
And I know Adrian was here talking about, as you said, the Calypso Show and the extravaganza, but I'll try my best to talk as many things as possible so we can keep abreast of what's happening, what has happened, and what we are looking forward to.
Well, you're going to have a lot of things to talk about because being the chairman doesn't, it means that you come with a whole lot of information and a whole lot of responsibility behind it.
I tell you, never a dull moment. I can tell you that now. But it has its rewards. Like everything else, it has, planning and trying to get things going. But at the same time, in all fairness, Jason, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And for me, it's nation building. It's a contribution to do something good. It was Winston Churchill who said we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And this is given. It's all voluntary. So I'm, despite the little challenges here and there and, idiosyncrasies that goes with it, but at the end of the day, it's Grenada. I love it. And I have no problem whatsoever.
All right. Yeah, because you've been, I mean, when we talk about serving and doing things, especially when it comes to things like these. I mean, your name has been on the books for decades.
Yes, it has been. Yes. And,
challenging, I know, challenging.
Yes, but it's all has its rewards.
How do you find the time?
Let me say, how long is a piece of string? You just try to mix and match. And I guess it's a lot of rewards in this because there are days you feel good about what you've done, especially when you've seen accomplishments and you get to feel that you have contributed.
Right.
So that in itself is good. But then there are times you go home and you think, wow, I'm really exhausted, And how long is this going to go on for? So at the end of the day, it's giving. And it's like the radio stations, you give, you promote, you produce, you help to educate people, you help to inform them. Some days I'm sure things don't always go as it should. But other times you find, hey, this is not bad. I've had a good, rewarding day.
Right.
And you go and feeling good. So it's all a mixture of all of that thing. So, you have to do what we have to do whilst we're alive, eh?
Sounds good. Yeah. All right. I tell you something. I mean, I know we have independence coming up and you being the chairperson of the National Celebrations Committee. Talk to us about the work behind that and, what are some of the plans that you've got for, the 40th anniversary of independence. What are some of the plans that's in for that?
All right. Well, I can kick off by saying that we have so far, as you say, we're celebrating 48 years.
Yeah.
We've done 47. We're looking forward to 49 and the big 50.
Right.
All requires planning, preparation, getting together and discussing things. So first of all, let me just deal briefly with 48. Yeah. The activities and the events of 48 is similar to that of last year in terms of the Calypso Show that Adrian spoke about, the extravaganza. But it's with a difference. There's always something different, about an event or an activity when you do it. Now, one of the highlights we've often said is the military parade. Last year, if you had a chance to see, that was really, really well executed. Police did exceptionally well. Again, they're in the rehearsal stages. We're looking forward to being able to put on as good as production in terms of the parade as humanly possible. So that is up and running. Jason, we have, there'll be about 7 platoons. We will not, unfortunately, be able to accommodate, the guys and the pathfinders and others who are not part of the armed units. But the prison's going to be there, Special Services Unit, the female platoon, male platoons, Her Majesty's prisons are going to be involved, and the Grenada Cadet Corps. Right. So we have a good combination of platoons that's going to make sure that our military parade is at the standard that it has always been. So that is something we're working towards to make sure that the climax of that is, speaks, justice for itself. And then on the 13th, before I forget, I keep forgetting, Prime Minister's luncheon is on the 13th, February the 13th. So that would be the climax of our celebrations, where the elderly are recognized, appreciated. The constituencies are going to be going out there, serving them and making sure that they have a good day on behalf of the Prime Minister. and to make sure that we let them know we still recognize and appreciate their contribution.
All right. So it doesn't culminate on Independence Day. It goes beyond that.
Goes beyond that because
Right.
there are so many things on Independence Day, as you can imagine.
Right.
And sometimes people want to be able to use the day, a bank holiday, to go with their families, friends, and enjoy it. So after
Right.
the parade will have ended, 11, 12, then of course people have an opportunity to do what they have to do. And the last of our event, as far as the National Celebrations Committee is concerned, is to have the Prime Minister's luncheon. At one time, as you know, it would have been held at the Trade Center,
Right.
where we get all of the elderly together. But because of our present pandemic situation, we now go to them. Instead of them coming to us, we go to them.
All right.
So
good.
all of them are served within the various constituencies. And it's quite good because the individuals there, the communities, know the people who would like to be appreciated.
Right.
So it's nice for them to go and be able to
And
serve
it
them.
makes it easier to reach out to them so you know who they are instead of missing anybody in the process and that kind of thing.
Definitely, my friend.
All right, sounds
Definitely,
good.
my friend, yeah.
I mean that in itself is
It's a handful, another
It's a
handful.
handful,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, everything is. So that's a 48. We have just for information purposes, we have the ecumenical service coming up on on Sunday, the 6th at the Blessed Sacrament. And that again is going to be on a virtual platform like all of our activities. So we're looking forward to another good service. We have a choir, we have the members of the Grenada Conference of Churches, we have readings by Her Excellency, the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition. Then we have a sermon, we have songs, we have prelude of music by the Royal Grenada Police Force Band. So it's a well-packed, well-organized event.
I mean,
Sunday.
The fact that it's going to be virtual, I think that in itself is a challenge because most folks, especially when you're performing, you would feed off of what you see in the crowd and all of that, and I mean that in itself must be a challenge even for those preparing to be a part of it.
Definitely, you would understand more than most, but it is. We sometimes see end products, but we don't see the process. And sometimes you need to have a structured process so that the product can come out to be something special. So yes, but I think the choirs and the members of the Conference of Churches are aware that they speak to camera or they speak as you're speaking to the public. And some people are able to manage, others are not so good. But we understand it's always good to have a presence, isn't it? Because that is what where we get our energy and our strength from in many respects. So as I said, we are looking forward to it. Let me not forget Carriacou. Carriacou is also quite busy in their plans because sometimes we tend to forget the
I was just about to head there to ask what are some of the plans that you have in place for Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
The majority of the plans had to be shelved because of the decision to go virtual.
Right.
So they will have planned the church service, an ecumenical service. They will have planned some of the sporting events and other things. But they still have, as part of their activities, they've just completed the sporting events at the secondary school level. They have the opportunity to do similar to us, go out and meet the elderly and make sure Prime Minister's luncheon is not just here in Grenada, but it's also in Carriacou. And they have other activities within the island. Beautification, they go around making sure the place is nice up and painted up and showing that we are celebrating.
Are we expecting any contingent from Carriacou to at least be here on the mainland for the main festivity on the
Monday?
7th, on the Monday?
No, we unfortunately, because it's the bank holiday as well. These things you have to plan in advance because it requires the flight. Our planes, as you know, cannot accommodate so many. So no, but we do have a string band. We have them coming down, so they will be on stage on the Saturday.
Right.
Doing the part of the extravaganza. We always like to welcome Carriacou because we're all one big, happy people, and we want to make sure they're not left out in our plans. So they will be involved, but only at the extravaganza level.
Okay. Talk to us also about the kind of work and preparation that has to go into something like this whole extravaganza. I mean, I know that people will say we want to have as many people there at the venue and all of that, but with everything happening with the advent of COVID-19, I mean, just knowing that you can't have everybody there. I mean, that in itself,
it's a challenge, and I hear you. I've listened to lots of people. I was on a program recently where we were talking about why shouldn't we have had people there?
Yeah.
But as I said to them, out of abundance of caution, the situation as it is now is very fluid.
And most folks will say that the curfew has been lifted, and there's quote unquote free movement of some sort. So then why not?
Right, I agree. But at the end of the day, when you have a situation with crowds, when you have to develop the capacity to manage and to control. For example, we're saying some people go for the vaccinated, others suggest, well, why not have them separated? Why not have them there? But Jason, it's easier said than done. We were hoping to have had it, in all fairness, but at the end of the day, it was against out of abundance of caution. And we said, let us now look to 49 and 50. Make sure we have an audience. Make sure we have in person. Make sure we put all our systems in place to allow for that. But this time around, we felt we needed to be a little bit more cautious. Our theme for this year is safeguarding our ad- adversity.
Right.
Um, Protecting, and I read it verbatim for you. So it says, overcoming our adversity, safeguarding our livelihoods, protecting our future. So we were looking at these ideas: safeguarding, protecting. Let's see what we can do to allow for us to have a good celebration without, you know, putting emphasis on the protection side of things. But I accept what people have said. They would have loved to have come. They have loved to have been part of the whole celebrations. But I can guarantee them come, our 49th and our 50th, as we move forward,
Hmm.
we should be able to be in a position where we can accommodate not just a small section, as we would have had to do for this time around, but everyone who wants to come, because hopefully there shouldn't have been any sort of restrictions in any way, shape, or form. But it's not so easy to have a situation like this where you don't know, and if anything were to happen, God forbid, then I would not have liked for these celebrations to have been called a super spreader.
Right.
So that was the background. But I took on board all of the points people have raised, that we should have given more consideration to having it as an in-person activity as opposed to be on a virtual plan.
What are we looking at for 49 and particularly 50? Because I
Oh,
heard you mentioned that, and I know that
yeah.
that in itself, I mean, looking forward to
14,
49 and
yeah.
50 is going to be something
We've
huge.
had discussion on 49 and 50 in particular. 49 is a build-up where we're going to have an explosion. We're going to make sure that the whole nation is involved in one way or another. We're looking at having the commercial houses, organizations taking part in the whole beautification process. We're looking at setting up our programs there are our activities, for example, our Independence Calypso show, our extravaganza. It would be with a bang, something big, something explosive. But it all requires, everything costs money. So we're planning as of now. We started discussing on from the production side what we're going to do, what we're going to introduce, and I'm inviting all the people here to be able to take part.
Right.
Consider some of the ways you can contribute to it, and let us have an explosion of a 50th anniversary. So these are things you got to plan. You got to make sure every system's in place. But we have been thinking about it, and we've been meeting and starting talking about it as of now,
Yeah.
because 2 years is just around the corner when you think about it,
Yeah.
isn't it?
All right. Anything quickly you'd like to add? Because I know you've got a lot to do. One of the conditions you popping in here this morning is knowing that, boy, Jason, we can't stay for long because there's so much to do, especially with what we call crunch time now. Today's the first, so if the push has come to shove, this is when push has come to shove.
It
I know
is.
that.
It is definitely.
So
But I appreciate the fact you invited me to just come speak briefly about this thing today. As a matter of fact, we have the dip-in for the Independence Calypso show. So
Yeah.
today we will
or for
for
the
Calypso
position of
for the positions
appearances.
of appearances.
Right.
Then we have the productions team still working over the stadium. Wagiti and his team trying to get the stage and everything. Because we've had to move from the cricket stadium, it's created a lot of logistical difficulties for us.
Right, because you've got cricket coming up in the next couple of weeks, and the WICB don't play around with that.
They don't. They want their place to be as per whatever. So we've had to move, and that created some logistical requirements. But we've dealt with it in the past, so we're doing okay so far. All I want to say to Grenada: enjoy your 40th anniversary of independence. Enjoy it. Whatever your plans do it. Friday is Colors Day. Also, the ministries are doing their displays, and we have a host of things taking place to the build up to the 47th. Right. So most importantly, enjoy it. Yeah.
Is it around this time of the year that those names go for those who you would recommend, or Grenadians would recommend,
right,
to be honored from the Queen's list and that kind of thing?
Yeah, there is a committee. It's Governor General's Awards. So what it is, the governor, the committee there would sit down, look at names, recognition, and so forth, and submit to Her Excellency the names that people should be rewarded or recognized. Right. It's usually in the past we would have had it on the day of the the parade where there would be a military parade and honors, but
Right.
because of what is happening now, so the Office of Her Excellency will arrange with us a date that is set aside so that these individuals
Specifically for
can
that.
be recognized and
Okay.
appreciated and given their awards. So,
All
so
right.
lots happening. So a lot of things are happening right now.
All right. John Williams sitting with us this morning. He's the chairperson of the National Celebrations Committee. I mean, he's been sitting in this chair for a while. And, the work has been immense. And year in, year out, people come, people go. But John Williams has been a constant. And, I just want to personally say thank you for the work that you have been doing, just being there for when Grenada needs you. Not very many people have the tenacity to stick it out and that kind of stick to itiveness. So I want to congratulate you on that. It's been a lot of work and it's been a lot of hard work, and you continue to show up when your country needs you. So thanks a lot.
I've learned from you, Jason. We've gone back a long way. So good role model, eh?
I've no.
You've done your bit as well.
I've done my bit.
Yeah, you've done
I've
your bit,
done
yes.
my bit
Differently, but
Yeah,
we've all done
I've
our
done my
bits, and
bit, yes.
I'm happy to be part of
Yes.
the whole setup. And as I said, we have to do what we have to do and make Grenada proud, and just continue to fly the flag.
Yeah, when you go outside, they're flying the Grenada flag. It's not easy. Everybody is
You know,
looking
but
at you,
yeah.
depending
Yeah,
on you,
it's
and
so true. They're all looking. All eyes are on you, isn't
you
it?
can't come back with a silver medal feeling comfortable. They want you to come back with gold all
They
the time.
won't
I know
go.
about
The
that.
standards are very high, but we have to do what we have to do, right?
Yes.
And do what it is. But thanks
All right.
again for having me, and thanks for allowing us to talk about independence. And we look forward to continuing our dialogue as we move forward.
Thank you very much. And John, it's always a pleasure. Feel free to drop by anytime.
My
All
pleasure.
right. Our friends from the National Celebrations Committee and the chairman of the National Celebrations Committee, Mr. John Williams, he spent the last 20 minutes or so with us this morning inside the ladies' room. Don't worry too much about the name. There's the ladies' room because usually Aruna is here, and she
Right.
so
Okay. There's meaning to that. Right?
there's meaning to that. And
Okay,
when
yes.
you find guys coming in the ladies' room, ladies are like,
interfere. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, you've had your time.
So you're a brave guy. You're a brave man.
Appreciate that.
You're a brave man. We are brave men, if I should say that myself, to make sure that we step inside the ladies' room and carry on this conversation. Thanks a lot, my friend.
Anytime.
And good to be with you, and good to have you, and come again next time. That's it for ladies' room this morning. Compliments our friends at Beacon Insurance Western Union. Thanks a lot for joining us, everybody.
You compliments of Renwick